Welcome back to the Pepsi Cal Sports Report. Joining us now is head coach Coach Tedford. Congratulations on win number 75 in your tenure here at California as you defeated Presbyterian the other day. What did it mean for you to get that 75th victory and the record?
Well, it's great. Obviously, it's a great honor. The tradition of Cal football, you know, the early coaches, Andy Smith, Pappy Waldorf, that's awesome. It really is. But really, it's just the guys who deserve all the credit are all the players over the last 9 years and 3 games, and all the coaches who have done all the hard work and preparation and things like that. You know, when something like that happens, it causes you to reflect a little bit back, you know, back to the first year and all those guys who had the greatest turnaround in college football that year, you know, and so it makes you really remember all those guys, and it's been a long tenure here. I just outlasted everyone.
Well, the other nice thing in the game was that your son caught a pass late in the game as well, too, so that added to the, I'm sure, the enjoyment of the moment, right? Yeah,
it was good. We got a lot of guys in the game, and we had a pass play, and Brock went to him, and he made a catch, so it was good. That was his first. I think he was really excited about it, obviously.
So we talked to Marvin Jones and Keenan Allen after the game. They said Quinn has the best out route on the team. He gets in and out of the break quicker than anybody else because he doesn't weigh more than 160 pounds.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, let's talk about the game itself. You go into this contest, and I think one of the things you said during the week leading to the game was you wanted to kind of button some things down. You wanted attention to detail was important. How did your team fare in that regard?
Well, there were a lot of good things, but there were some things that obviously weren't very detailed, like the block punt for a touchdown. We were pretty disappointed about that. We have to improve that. And the great thing about it is you come away with a win, but there's still always room for improvement. And so we were able to take that. I thought our team did a nice job last week in preparation of focusing. It's just in the game we had a couple penalties, which we cannot continue to allow to happen, and then the block punt really hurt us.
Well, you got a couple of big plays on special teams. One of them from Brendan Bigelow, who this week was named the Pac-12 Special Teams Player of the Week. It's the first time we had seen him, so made a pretty big splash in his debut.
Yeah, he did. He did a nice job. Returned a couple kickoffs, and even on offense, he got a couple balls and did some nice things with them. And the kickoff return was blocked very well, and he ran right up in there and made one cut. And once he gets in the open field, his speed is excellent. So once he passed that first wave, there was nobody going to catch him.
Defensively, you were able to apply pressure. Sean Catus had a good game as he had a couple of picks. One, a ball was thrown behind the receiver. He's right there. I know he was disappointed he didn't take it to the house for 6 points. Then the other one, he came over the top. I thought made a great play coming over the top there to get the ball that was down the sidelines.
Yeah, he did. He got up high for that one and really challenged for it and made a nice interception there. And yeah, I think the first one he thought he had an open pathway to the end zone, so he was disappointed he didn't score. But it was nice to see him come up with some turnovers.
And then overall, you know, the experience at AT&T Park, you know, just it was a gorgeous day. I think the students have to be really commended. They came out in full voice, so to speak, in the end zone there, made a lot of noise. At least you could hear some of the noise. What were your thoughts about the overall atmosphere at AT&T?
Well, I'm very appreciative for the students to come out there and support us. I thought it was really dead, to tell you the truth. It really seemed weird, and so I hope next time we go there, we play SC there in a few weeks. I hope it's a little bit different environment, because it almost seemed like a scrimmage with the fans. They seemed like they were kind of far away from us for whatever reason. It had an uneasy feeling. It didn't feel like the bowl game when we were there a couple years ago. So I hope next time we're there, I hope more people are there and can get it going and really give our players a lift.
And they're talking to a lot of fans. I mean, they had a lot of fun with the tailgating outside. It was a great experience for them to get to the city and so forth. All right, so the victory over Presbyterian, and now the Bears travel to Seattle for the first Pac-12 official game of the season. When we come back, we'll preview the Huskies. That and more as the Pepsi Cal Sports Report continues. Welcome back to the show. This week, your team travels to Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies. The Huskies are 2-1 overall. They lost at Nebraska this past weekend, 51-38, having beaten prior to that Eastern Washington and Hawaii at home. What were your thoughts about Washington as you look at the tape?
Very good football team. Really explosive on offense. Great running back with Polk, and then Kearse is a guy who hurt us last year and is always dangerous. So they have a lot of weapons. Defensively, very, very good. Very good in the secondary. Physical, very good linebackers. They do quite a bit on defense. So, and then, as you know, going to Seattle is a really tough place to play. Very, very loud there, and so communication is going to be key for us on offense.
And we're not sure about the weather. The early report is that we might see some rain up there. Do you do some different things in practice to prepare for, what might be a wet day in Seattle?
We will. Yeah, we'll. Anytime that we're going to go to Seattle, we'll have a day or so where we wet the ball down and things like that, just to get the quarterbacks a little bit used to it. And the centers, really, centers, it's a big deal because, it all starts right there. So we need to make sure the quarterback-center exchange is there. And so we'll do that a day or two this week.
Is it a little bit more concern when you're in the shotgun as opposed to having the quarterback under center with a wet ball? Is there a major difference or not?
No, really, it's a little bit of both. It's always with the center. He has to have a good grip on it no matter where it is, whether it's under or not. Because if it slips out of his hands, then no matter whether you're underneath or in a shotgun, it makes no difference. So it's important for the center, the quarterback, and then the guys catching the football as well. As it's coming at them when it's wet, they really need to focus and concentrate on it.
Nick Holt is their defensive coordinator. They've given up some points this year in the first couple of games, but you look at Hawaii and Eastern Washington, they're kind of spread, throw it all over the lot kind of teams. And then Nebraska, when they built their lead, didn't necessarily do it on offense so much. It was Husky mistakes vis-a-vis the kicking game, a couple of penalties and a fumble as well. What does Washington like to do defensively?
A little bit of everything. They like to pressure you. They do. And, so I thought Nebraska did a nice job. Their quarterback made a lot of big plays with his legs. He's very good with that. And so, but they get after you. They get after the quarterback, and they're physical, and they do a lot of movement. And they have very good cover guys in the secondary. So it's going to be a great test for us. And like I said, going there is always a real challenge to be able to communicate and that type of thing in Husky Stadium.
How much have you been able to watch Keith Price, their quarterback, replacing Jake Locker, played against Oregon last year, but has put up some pretty good numbers so far this season?
He has done a nice job. I watched his game last week, and thought he did a nice job. He can throw it, he can run around, he's accurate, he can throw the deep ball. I was really, really impressed with his poise and the control that looks like he has of the offense.
Well, it's always a challenge to go up there to face the Huskies. The Bears looking for a little revenge after what happened last year at Memorial Stadium. Good luck this week.
Thank you.
All right, head coach Jeff Tedford looking for career victory number 76. When we come back, we'll wrap things up on the Pepsi Cal Sports Report.